And you tell me, do you feel you accomplished what you set out to do?
Yeah.
And how arduous a task is that?
Working for the second time on a character, a lot easier. Character does evolve, obviously. You know, it has to. You know, we're not just going to tread water and do the same thing. And the second movie has to be better than the first, otherwise why make it? But great cast. Working with Chris Nolan for the third time, with his crew for the third time. And so, wasn't too tricky. You know, when you get to work with people as good as this, it's not tricky.
And you bring up an interesting point, because the last one was very good, and I think there was this skepticism, like, oh, they're doing it again. Who, you know, why bother? And since the last one was so well received, that notion that you just articulated, this has got to be better.
It's got to be better, but also, Chris had people believing. People weren't questioning anymore about whether it could be good, whether it could be achieved. Before we were filming Batman Begins, a lot of people, as you said, were skeptical. After it came out, people realized, no, he did it great. So with this one, he had absolutely no doubts from other people about his abilities to come up with something wonderful. Therefore, you see a movie that far exceeds the first one.
Maggie just said something very interesting. In describing working with both you and Heath, she said the two of you achieved something that was very, very difficult, that you were, quote unquote, completely free, and that's a very difficult thing for an actor to become. Does that resonate with you? Did you feel that way when you were making it?
Well, I definitely feel, you know, complete ownership of the character, which you have to with anything. But I mean, look, I had the luxury of having played him before, so if I wasn't feeling ownership by now, there'd be a serious problem, you know. So the freedom within that, yes, is a wonderful thing. But perversely, you know, Batman is not actually free in the slightest. You know, he's a prisoner of his own temperament, of his own violence, of his own rage, of his own altruism. You know, he's a very conflicted character, and he's not somebody who you would ever consider to be free, healthy. He's an issue-laden character.
I was very struck. The Joker performance is remarkable. What was that like on the set when you were doing it?
It was fantastic. You know, he was immersing himself completely in the role, embracing it, creating something unlike any other villain that I've seen before. This nihilism, this anarchic attitude, this embracement, love of chaos and destruction, this wish to show everybody that humanity was useless, that humanity was hypocritical, that when the chips were down, ultimately everybody would give up on their principles, and nobody really had true belief in anything, and therefore the only thing to truly believe in was destruction. And then and he's uncompromising. He does not compromise. But neither does Batman. And that's why it becomes such a wonderful adversarial relationship, because the Joker is delighted to find an opponent like Batman, because it's a tougher challenge. Everyone's too easy for him. Batman is a tough challenge. However, Batman has the rule that he will not kill, and the Joker doesn't, so therefore Batman has a weakness, because he can use that against him. And Batman has his great rage, you know, which he has to rein in. But definitely, there is the thought in his head, is if only he could just break that one rule, he could finish this guy so much easier, you know, and possibly alleviate pain, death of other people. So it raises wonderful ethical questions.
That great phrase, "You complete me."
Exactly, yeah. You know, there's a sick kind of a love from the Joker for Batman, you know. He makes him feel like he has a great purpose in life.